What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay Sidequest, where we are going to painstakingly select the 5 best, in our opinion, JRPGs of the 1990s. Now, Chris, can I take a second to say that I deliberated the idea that you mentioned last week, where you're like, maybe we should split the 90s in half. So, here's the thing. I have a list of 10 games, and I'll bring up the other 5 after we're done this list. Because I did actually pick 5 from each decade to show how painful it actually is. And I thought about it for a little while and said, you know what? Maybe we should. But that didn't sound like fun. So that didn't sound like good content. Because it's going to make some real people mad when there are certain games that do not make this list.
I was mad at myself for having to cut games when I was trying to keep my own list to 5. So... yeah, for everybody listening, when you hate our decisions, we know it's going to happen.
I'm sorry, guys, but Secret of Mana just ain't going to make the cut. Games like that aren't making it.
No, they're not making it. You can't be in the top 5 because you got to be the top 5. Like,
and arguably the biggest boom period of JRPGs. Yeah, there's just some stuff that ain't gonna even make the top 10 if we did that.
Yeah. Oh, this is a tough day. This is our decade. Oh, I don't know. I was dreading this, but I'm here. I'm in. I'm ready.
Well, you know what that means. It's time to switch over to the old Photoshop graphic and get ourselves ready to go here. So, for those that haven't been here on the first video, what we're going to do is we're going to each give our number 1. We're not like doing our own personal lists, and then we got 2 lists. No, we're going to each say our ones from top to bottom. So if we both pick the same game at number 1, it's in. Problem solved.
See.
And if we move on to number 2, and if there's a difference, then we have to fight out that one and then carry whatever was left over to 3 and see how that shakes out with our 3s. And we just keep going until eventually we got a sort of painstakingly put together list that we're compromising together on and thinking that we can handle.
Yeah,
now,
this is going to be hard.
Now, the question that starts off this list is, do our 1s and 2s match? Because I'm pretty sure our 1s and 2s will be the same. It's just will the order be the same?
I think you're right.
So, because I have a feeling that we're going to be different, I'll let you go first to see if that proves it.
We totally are. Because I think that you and I would number 1 are slightly different with this. Because my number 1 is Chrono Trigger. Like, I can't pick it. I can't not pick it. It's my number 1 JRPG of all time. So we're going to painstakingly
start by deciding what between this and Final Fantasy VI is making the cut. Because let me assume that's your number 2.
That's my number 2.
Guess what my number 2 is?
Is it Chrono Trigger? Oh, no.
I knew it. I fucking knew it as soon as I wrote the list.
I knew it too. When I wrote Chrono Trigger number 1, I was like, well, we're not going to agree on this, but I know it's going to be up there. So, this is tough.
Oh, boy. Have fun with this.
Yeah. Like, what's better, Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger? Like, arguably the 2 best JRPGs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even of this decade. Like, let's be honest. The 2 best JRPGs possibly of all time. And we have to pick which is better between the 2. They're different, but they're both so good.
I mean, they're both timeless, so we can take that part away. Between the 2, I think Final Fantasy has the edge of music.
Yeah.
In story, I think 6 has the edge too.
It's definitely got a much more dark.
Well, I also think like the villain is actually like interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Chrono Trigger though, kills it in gameplay easily.
Oh yeah,
the battle system is the best.
Yeah, just having the battles, like you see the actual enemies on screen and it easily transitions into the battles.
I think I like the actual world in Chrono Trigger more than I do 6.
It is a little more fleshed out, maybe. I mean,
it's also the different things of like time travel, so there's a lot more variance to it.
Yeah, and you can see somebody and their ancestors in one era, and this
is try to bear it down further. I mean, you got more party members to deal with in 6, but that also means there's a few weak links. So it's trying to figure out who the top ones are. I mean, I still think I would lean the overall character quality being to 6, just because I think some of Chrono Trigger are a little more shallow. Because I mean, characters like Locke, Terra, Celes, they really stand out. But at the same time, they also have your Go-Go's and Realms and others
And
that just don't matter.
The Yeti, who you don't even get to control. Yeah, this is the hardest one for me. It was my 1 and 2. That was no problem. I knew throwing them in. Chrono Trigger has the edge for me, mostly out of nostalgia. Don't get me wrong, 6 has the same nostalgia, but I think Chrono Trigger was my first, like, me going out of my way to get a JRPG and fall in love with it and play New Game Plus a million times. Where 6, I had played it, but I had not as much until after Chrono Trigger, if I'm honest. So I think it's also a bit of a bias for nostalgia for me. Oh, this is really, really tough. I will throw this out there. No matter which one of these ends up in the first and second spot, I will be happy with the fact that they are 1 and 2. I will throw that out. I would never hear someone say Final Fantasy VI is the best JRPG, and then I would lose my shit and say it's Chrono Trigger, because both of them are so good that it's like there is no wrong answer, in my opinion.
Okay, well, we're not settling this the way that we normally would. So, probably gonna look like shit. I'm gonna quickly throw this on. If I can get it to work. Okay. That's gonna look like shit, and I don't really care, but I just need to get this done. So, we got a coin flip. Heads will be Final Fantasy VI, tails will be Chrono Trigger.
Okay, but in Final Fantasy VI, there's a double-sided coin that's both heads. Are you tricking me with a Final Fantasy trick within this?
Look, I don't have the hair of Edgar, so you know I'm not that.
All right, heads Final Fantasy VI, tails Chrono Trigger.
And it's Chrono Trigger.
Yes. I mean, when you think about it too, no one will be upset. It's a dream team of JRPG.
It's not like, I honestly don't have an issue with either. I think it's just literally from our standpoint, it really is a case of I like 6 more than I like Chrono Trigger. You like Chrono Trigger more than 6. It's just a matter of like which one ends up being like the taker at the end of things.
Yeah. It's like having like they're both 10 out of 10. How do you determine which is the better game?
You don't. you just don't.
No, you don't. Oh, you just don't. Yeah, but yeah, Chrono Trigger, the dream team of Enix and Square developers. You had... Oh, it's just... Yeah, it was just good.
And like, it's funny because I would have fought way harder a few years ago because I never actually finished Chrono Trigger for the longest time just because I didn't have it growing up, so I wasn't aware of it. And like, I had a weird issue for a while where like I couldn't play old games. It's still a thing that exists with me, but it's not nearly as strong as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I did finally get to play it in full, and I really truly understood at that point like how different it actually was and just how much of a big deal it was. Because like back then it didn't ring the same way, whereas now it's so different. It rings so much differently now.
I can replay this game and do like millions upon millions of times. I honestly have probably played through the game like 50 plus times, Chrono Trigger. But to be completely honest, when it comes to Final Fantasy VI, I'm honestly not that much further behind. For example, Final Fantasy VI, I just finished playing the Pixel remaster like a week ago. So I'm constantly replaying these games. And the fact that they're both on PC, holy heck. Now I've got them forever. Never need to rebuy them, but I will. Whenever a new edition comes out, I will. But still, I don't need to.
All right, well, we did the painful part. I have a feeling we'll match on 3. I feel like 3 should match.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'm worried, like, what if it's a different... I don't know. You go first. This is your time to go first.
I went to Super Mario RPG.
Oh, I have Mario RPG in my honorable mentions. Like, I couldn't even fit it in. It's there. Yeah.
I'm actually shocked by that.
Me too, because it's like one of my favorites. But I was going just like, really, if I had to go like the top RPGs and I had these other ones, I'm like, I can't ignore these other ones. My number 3 was Phantasy Star 4.
Okay, because I have it sitting at 5th on mine, so it's not
Okay.
it's on there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on, like, again, this is so hard. To be honest, Phantasy Star 4 and Super Mario RPG, like, it was like, oh, rated out of 10. Both of them get 10s for me. It's not like I just pick the 5 best at like 10. Oh, it's too hard. This
Yeah.
decade sucks by being way too good. Literally. Honestly,
Yeah,
I could go Super Mario RPG. I could go it. I could go that way. For me, Phantasy Star definitely needs to be on this list, the 4th one.
Oh,
But
I don't
can
disagree
get,
for sure.
yeah, but I can get Super Mario RPG on there.
Well, here's what we'll do. We'll check 4, see where that's at, and kind of play it from there. Because if we're going to be sliding Phantasy Star 4 and Super Mario RPG, we kind of got to see what we're working with.
Yeah,
So I'm already changing up the rules a little bit, and because
I'm good with it.
Because usually when you match up with like 3, usually you're thinking, okay, it's like 3 and maybe 4 or 5. Whereas in this case, it's 3 and you don't even think it's on the list. So it makes it a little more interesting.
It's at the. It's just so hard.
Yeah, you heard it here first, guys. Chris doesn't even think Super Mario RPG is that good a game.
Oh my god! Oh, I even just hurt from that. My heart stopped. I think my Apple Watch just told me to go to the doctor. Oh my gosh! Yeah, no, it is an incredible game.
What's your number 4? So let's kind of go from there as well.
I think this is the game that's throwing us off and what bumped Super Mario RPG, and that's Xenogears, because I don't think you'll have Xenogears on your list.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I know how much that means to you. In my 4th spot, I had Pokemon Red, Green, and Yellow.
See, that is my 5th.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think I knew it when I wrote down Xenogears, which obviously I had to have it. Anybody who listens to the podcast, I throw Xenogears in all the time. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be, I'm the only one that's going to mention it, and that's what's going to screw up our list. Because if it weren't for Xenogears,
and I think that's the trouble too with this list that we're going to have to come to. It has to be one that we collectively agree on. And I'll straight up tell you, I can't put Xenogears on this list because I've never played it.
I know. Yeah, because it's Xenogears is what took Super Mario RPG's spot. It just kind of bumped it. But other than that, it's Phantasy Star 4 and Pokemon Blue and Red and Yellow that you and I both have. So
we're still in an impasse. So what was your 5 then? Because I need to jot down everything we have.
Pokemon Red and Blue.
Okay, so we're actually only. So really, we're at a case that I think, honestly, like, because you have a lot more affiliation to Super Mario RPG and I have 0 affiliation to Xenogears, I think we've got our 3 games, just a matter of where now.
Yes.
And keep in mind, to anybody watching, this isn't meaning that Xenogears isn't worthy of it. It's just, it's hard to have a collective list when one person hasn't played it.
Oh, yeah. No. You heard it here, folks. Adam hates Xenogears. Adam hates JRPGs.
You know what? I'll say it. I do, because Square Enix won't fucking put it out again.
Okay, you know what? You just sold me on taking it off this list because Square won't re-release it. I just felt that.
You know what? Square put it back on the list so that we can or put it back out on release somewhere, quickly remaster it or some shit. I don't care. Half-ass it. Just get it out there so I can play it in 60 frames per second. And then we can bring this video back and we can see if maybe we push something out. And then I painstakingly tell Chris that we have to push Phantasy Star 4 out just to really put the screws to it.
No, you're not doing that to me. No. Phantasy Star 4 for me is more important than Xenogears.
So here's what I'm thinking. So you have Phantasy Star at 3 and I have it at 5. I have Super Mario at 3 and you don't have it at all. I have Pokemon at 4, you have it at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of the way our lists are intertwining, I think we put Phantasy Star 4 at 3, Pokemon at 4, Super Mario at 5, just on the basis of ranking.
That, to me, fully works. Fully works. I would be very happy with that.
Does it make perfect sense to me in my list? No, but that's not what this is.
Yeah. It's tough getting a collective amount of people together. That's why Metacritic is so popular.
It's also why you don't use Ranker for how you gauge things, because it doesn't always work that way.
That's true. Also, I just have to say once more that this list animation setup you have makes me want to replay all of these games. which I've already replayed the.
Which I was
6.
going to say, which is funny because I think at least one of the games on this list you've probably finished this year.
Yeah, 6 was literally a week ago. Phantasy Star 4 was either last year or the year before when I replayed all 4, no, 1, 2, and 4 of Phantasy Star. Chrono Trigger wasn't too long ago because it was on Steam. Mario RPG was remade last year? Was that the remake? I think that was end of last year. Yeah, so I played that a year ago.
It's so hard to remember some of these things too because they're just, oh god.
So just shout out to that Super Mario RPG remake. That was so faithful to the original.
It's one of those games too that, like, in retrospect, you're like, how the hell did they actually do that effectively well?
Yeah.
Because, like, that's the fact that they even did it in the first place is amazing, and the fact that it wasn't a pile of shit, because how many remakes have been half-assed because they know it doesn't matter?
Yeah. And that one, it's Nintendo and Square. They have a decent relationship now, but not enough that I thought they would ever let that get remade, because it wasn't done by Square.
Especially in the state that it was done in, because, like, it was seriously well put together.
Better than most Square Enix games that they put out today. Yeah. Let's just face that truth.
Yeah, it's like I went into it being like, okay, like, this will be fun to replay, and then as soon as I played, I'm like, not only is it everything I remember, but it's more than that, because they added to it.
And they were smart. You could play the old music or the new orchestrated music, and you could just switch on the fly. Like, they had a lot of stuff to keep it original for, the people who love the original, and also a way to make it, like, kind of new for anybody who's looking for a slightly more modern take.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great remake.
Yeah, like, that's the case of, like, we talked about with all of our videos on remakes, like, just how important that stuff was.
Mm-hmm.
And they really did put the de facto, oh, that's how they're supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Will they? No, a lot of devs will never actually do that properly, but,
Yeah. I mean, Square did do really good with the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I will give them that. Considering they had their, like, mobile ports brought to PC and stuff, and they were so awful. I'm glad that they came back and redid that, because they needed it.
Doesn't quite fit, but who cares? Good enough.
Good enough.
So,
I love that.
Here is what was missing, and here is my extra 5 games. This tells you how deep it was, and again, I picked 5 from each half of each of the 90s. So that way there was some variance. So just to remind, so my 5 that I picked was Final Fantasy 6, which was 94. Chrono Trigger, which was 95. Mm-hmm. That would have been in the latter half, because I would have been 90 to 94 and then 95 to 99. So on the one side, you got good lord, so many goddamn fantasies. Final Fantasy 6. And then on the other side, you got Chrono Trigger in 95, Super Mario RPG in 96, Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow in 96, and then Phantasy Star 4 in 93. So you got, in this list, on mine alone, was basically half and half. So that's already telling you. And that was me, like, intentionally listing stuff from each half of the decade, too. What didn't make it was Final Fantasy 4 in 91, Link to the Past in 91. That's another thing. Link to the Past, because we did put the original Legend of Zelda last week. So Link to the Past didn't even make it.
Yep.
Chrono Cross, which is one of the most nostalgic games to me, and that's 99. I put Final Fantasy 7 in there, not because I like the original, but because I know of the importance to it. I had to give it that. And then to round out the early 90s was Earthbound in 94.
Oh, Earthbound. I didn't have that one in my honorable mentions, but that is a good one.
Was there anything that other than Super Mario RPG? What was, I think you said you had, like, one other one or something, didn't you?
So I did stop, but, like, I that's just because I told myself to stop, or I was going to get really upset at myself for, like, cutting these. But it would truthfully go Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Cross, absolutely. Link to the Past, 100% would be in there. I also had Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Not because it actually deserves to be on the list, just because that's fun to mention, and I actually do love that game. Gosh, what else did I have? Final Fantasy VII, And 8 technically.
I was gonna say, can I make things painful for you?
Yeah.
Tactics.
Oh, I had thought of tactics. I thought of tactics, and then I was like, no, it's okay. You're not letting it down. It's like a strategy RPG. Maybe it doesn't count. I was like convincing myself to keep it out of the list so I didn't get upset. Yeah, because it's like you get Final Fantasy IV, you get Final Fantasy VII, you get Mystic Quest. I had Super Mario RPG, obviously Xenogears, which isn't in the list here too. Yeah, Chrono Cross, stuff like that. Breath of Fire. I think 1, 2, 3 all came out in the 90s technically. Like
the first couple Suikoden's were out by this point.
Suikoden's, Grandia 1, Lunar, or whatever that's called, the Silver Star story. I think that may have been 90s.
Shining Force was starting to kick around too.
Shining Force.
And again, if you want to go really outside of just what we think of a JRPG, like technically Castlevania Symphony of the Night belongs in that list.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was like so
Tactics
many.
Ogre, I think, would also be in the
Tactics
90s.
Ogre. Yeah, which I had. I just did the remake of that. Fantastic remake for anybody who wants to play that. Yeah, it's just there's so many. Like the start of all the Dragon Quests that are in there that I didn't get a chance to play because they weren't localized here. I don't think in the 90s. Most of them I would have played later. Yeah, it's crazy how many games
we're
in the 90s.
We're missing the most important one though.
I said Mystic Quest.
Quest 64.
What? Oh, that game, that deserves so much more praise.
Actually, now that I think about it, even the I can't remember what the company's name is, but like the trilogy of like Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, and
like ActRaiser? Is it ActRaiser?
No.
It's something like that.
1 sec, I'm gonna feel stupid when I forget because one of these days I'm gonna actually remember. Blaze.
Yeah, it's like
Blazing something. Soul Blazer. There we go.
Soul Blazer. There we go. Yeah, that trilogy, really, really good on Super Nintendo.
And like I said, like the Mana, like the Secret game, like Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, Romancing Saga 3.
Oh, Romancing Saga, yeah.
And then there was also I don't remember what the actual let me see here.
Some people maybe remember the Final Fantasy Legend, like Game Boy
Trials
games.
of Mana, which I knew growing up from playing emulators, which was called Seiken Densetsu 3 in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, I think the Game Boy Final Fantasy Legends are actually from that series, from the Mana series. Yeah, those were tough games too. I have that also remaster collection on Steam. Yeah, just the 90s was like the perfect period for JRPGs. 2000
and also pain point for both of us. Breath of Fire 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, I mentioned Breath of Fire 1, 2, and 3, I think. I think 3 may have also been in the 90s. It was PS1.
3 definitely was, because 4, I believe, was like 2000.
Yeah, 4 is when it went, like it was into the 2000s. Or 2000, yeah, maybe right on. Yeah, I remember when I looked and I was like, Chrono Cross, that's got to be like a 2000s game. I'm like it probably came out in 2000. Nope, 99. I was like, damn it. Because Final Fantasy 9, one of my favorite, that's my third favorite Final Fantasy. That one came out, I think, in 2000. That's why I didn't bring that one up. I think.
Well, at the very least, like, you look at what's on this list. I'm sure there's some people that are going to look at this list and be like, Phantasy Star 4 is in the top 5. And it's like, either you haven't played it or you just aren't me and Chris, where it's just one of those things that, like, it carries so much value. Like, to me, that's like, actually, that's the first JRPG I remember playing because I had a friend of mine who had that on Genesis. Because back then I didn't have Super Nintendo yet. So I started out with the Genesis, and I was really only playing like Sonic or whatever, like, really stupidly cheap games that my parents were just throwing at me. That were just like, especially the 32X ones. So I was playing like Rambo 3 over and over again and getting my ass kicked.
Yep.
Or like the really shitty Pro Wrestling, where it literally was just called Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was in the same boat as you. I didn't have a Super Nintendo until after the N64 was out. All of my Chrono Trigger gaming and Final Fantasy gaming and Breath of Fire, all of that was at my buddy Brent's house. He had it. Shout out to Brent if you're hearing this in this episode. But yeah, it's like I played everything there. He had the Super Mario RPG. He had all of them. I just had the Sega Genesis, and I got Phantasy Star 4 used at a Blockbuster back when they would like get
Oh,
rid of
there
their
goes
extra games.
See this weird thing that we keep having on Discord. It's
doing it
happening
again?
and now you're back. And
Yeah.
like, I know it has to be on your end, you know, to pull back the curtain a little bit, because I'm looking over, and when you were not making any sound, the green box was still around. So Discord was still taking something in.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on there. Yeah, I'll have
Actually,
to
that
figure
might also
out.
mean that it could be a Discord issue. Well, that's weird that it only happens to you, though, because you're the only person that it does that to. It's so weird.
I have no idea. Yeah, it could be a Discord.
At least to
setting,
wait
maybe.
until the very end, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but yeah, as I was just saying, I'm in the same boat as you. I had a Sega Genesis, and Phantasy Star 4 was my first JRPG that I purchased, like that I owned, and didn't just have to play at a friend's house, because my buddy, he had a Super Nintendo. He had the other games on this list. I did have Pokemon, but again, that was a little bit later in my gaming career.
Like for the longest time, all I was playing was like basically Sonic 3, because that's the one I had. I eventually got Sonic 2 later. That's also weird. I never owned the original. I only had 3 for the longest time, and then I came across 2, and then that was it. And then I had like whatever not Mega Drive, 32X stuff that we had that I think my parents just got at like a garage sale or some shit. And then NHL PA 93, which was honestly still one of the best fucking sports games of that time. So.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it's not like I wasn't eating well. It's just, you know, every once in a while I finally get to go to if you want to date yourself, the old Rogers Video or Blockbuster to go get some video game rentals.
Yeah, that's how I got Phantasy Star 4. They were getting rid of all their old copies, and they had one for $10, while EB Games, which is GameStop, had it still for like 70 or 80 Canadian dollars, which was insane. So I got a steal.
Mine.
Yeah, I took it as soon as I saw it. I was like, Blockbuster doesn't know what they have. They're just trying to get rid of a Sega Genesis game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look at this list. I mean, you might complain about Phantasy Star 4 if you got your own little things here and there, but like the stuff that we kicked off of our list too is pretty damning.
Yeah, like it hurts a lot to not have Xenogears on here. I'm not going to lie, but it also hurts a lot to not have Final Fantasy 4. That hurts a lot. It hurts a lot to not have
That's
Chrono
like the
Cross.
most nostalgia for I think both of us.
Oh, 4 is my favorite Final Fantasy. I'm not saying
also,
it's the
as
best,
somebody
but
who
it's
has
my favorite.
put so much time into the randomizer community for that game and it still didn't even make my top 5, that's saying something. That's saying how strong the list is. That a game that I've probably, since I started playing in the randomizer community, have probably finished a total of somewhere around 100 to 150 different seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely my favorite Final Fantasy. If I had to pick it, if this wasn't like the best JRPGs, it was like just my favorites out of my own personal nostalgia, Final Fantasy IV would be actually the one on this list because it is my favorite. It's not the best. I think 6 is actually the best.
You can poke so many holes in that game.
Yeah, 4 you can poke into, but yeah. It hurts. This was the hardest one I think I'll have to do. 2000s is going to be good. There's a lot of good PS2. Come on, that's where the JRPGs...
There's a lot to pick from, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as hard.
It won't hurt as much. It won't.
There's still nostalgia, but we're not adding 10 extra years of nostalgia on top of it.
Yeah, because like I don't think I've got anything really in the Xbox or PS3 era that's really going to fight for the top spots.
Yeah, I think that I'll be like maybe when I do my list I'll see differently. I'll be shocked if anything on that list comes from anything that's not the PS1 or PS2.
Yeah. It's going to be hard. It's going to be really
now,
hard. Because
that's also considering that I may not be thinking about handheld. So that's a wrench that can kind of come into play.
Oh, shit.
But
you're right.
We'll see. Because like Fire Emblem... actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this for my own curiosity to see if that's something I need to think about. When did Fire Emblem Awakening come out? 2012. Don't got to think about it. All right.
Yeah, mine's already screwed. I just looked up one on PS3 that I love, and it's 2009. So it's like, it's just in there. Yeah, so it's going to be a tough list next week. Oh, it's going to be tough, but not as tough as this. This was hard.
Yeah.
This was the most difficult decision.
This was hard. Like, it literally got to the point that, like, we normally had a format that last week we did pretty well with, where it's just like, go work our way down, and eventually went, no, we need to throw all our picks on the board before we can figure this out, because it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we shall see when we get to next week with the 2000s. So, you guys know the drill here on YouTube. What did we get wrong? Which is probably, knowing our list, pretty good chance it's anywhere between 3 and below. If anybody sits there and says, like, with a straight face that the top 2 games are inaccurate, it'd be like, look, you can switch the order, but I don't think there's anything that goes above it. And, like, unless you're going to go in the range of, like, well, I don't care much for the turn-based stuff, so what about Link to the Past? Then I'll get it. But if you're into turn-based JRPGs and those 2 aren't the top 2 on that list, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but
yeah, there's no debate there. 1 and 2, you can rotate between them, but it is those 2.
But hey, let us know what we got wrong, or let us know what your top 5 is from that generation, and we'll be happy to talk about it there. Obviously, while you're here on YouTube and you made it to the end of this video, which we appreciate you sticking around with us for, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you guys on Wednesday when we resume the podcast. And hopefully, have something interesting to talk about that isn't just us begging for Jeff Keighley to put more shows on there, because I don't know what we would have done this week if it hadn't been for that, because I was kind of out of ideas.
Gamescom predictions.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. It's like, okay, what's our predictions for literally 12 months from now?
I love it. I'm in.
All right, folks. Other than that, share with all your friends who aren't aware of the show that you think would be interested in that. And again, Linktree there is at the bottom of your screen. That links to the Discord and nothing else. I will never stop making that joke until we actually stop not using social media, which we're both all really bad at. But anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Sidequest. So wherever you may be, take care. Bye-bye for now.